Good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, and we had a FOMC meltdown here. Are we going to finally see a crash in the stock market? Let's get into it here today. First, if you can please give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe to the channel. Find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. We had some monsters today. I know not everybody got filled on this one. This was a tough one. We did get, I caught copper for about 37 cents here on the futures. Caught that rebound there off the tariff news, which was nice. And we also caught a quick trade on silver this morning. Beautiful little reclaim of this level and quick bounce off that, and a nice one that we're still in on ES. And there was a level that I called out before the Fed started moving. Before I went on the call at 145, said 63.40. Watch that on SPX. That's a level we're going to want to watch, and that is a level we are holding. And we got in at 63.73, and nice gain, got 10 points, and then almost 20, and possibly more now if we can reclaim this. I'm just going to say right now, we got Microsoft and Meta coming up. There's a chance we could trend green tomorrow, based on how this is set up. And the reason I say that, there's a couple of reasons. We'll talk about all of it right here. We'll get into breaking it down. I'll be honest with you, I did not really listen to Powell. I don't really care what he said. I just care about the levels here. I do know that the 2-year got wrecked, though. So market did not like that. And the IWM got hit here. Again, that's 3 days in a row, though, where it was leading pre-market. It was actually leading in the market, and then it sold off during market hours here. But one of the main things here is, I think if this was an impulsive sell, a few things would be happening. One, we would already be through 63.40. There was a huge dealer level there. We saw that pre-market. We saw that all day long. Positive delta. And these are things that are just, they're so valuable because it told us the low of the day. But I think if it was an impulsive sell, that would have broken and we would already be at 6,300. A la what we saw here. I mean, no levels held that day, right? We closed right at the low of the day. Everything broke down. Additionally, look at where we are. We're right off the highs. I mean, we're almost back to, I was going to talk about this level. I didn't think we were going to get back there. We got 2.5 minutes left, so I'm doing this in real time. But yeah, we're starting to creep back above this little shelf here. So very nice rebound. And we also have Microsoft Meta reporting. Now, I can tell you right now, Meta, that's probably not going past 700. If it does, I'd be a little surprised. Microsoft, we're probably looking at, it's just a little bit more mixed. I'll just pull it up. Let's just pull it up. How about that? Yeah, it's a little bit more mixed, but it's pretty positively hedged. I'd say as long as it's above 500, it's fine. Maybe even we'll see 525. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. If that does happen, we're certainly going to break back above this level here. We've got a lot of lines on that chart, but we're certainly going to break above this, and we can even go back up to 64. So those are a couple of reasons. We also have SMH here. You guys know we look for that to see relative strength all the time. This is right back to where it was basically pre that sell. It's been showing relative strength all day long. And speaking of semis, we had a nice deal with Marvel today. This is when we were in from 74.41, I believe, and we took some gains right on the open, a little bit above 83. So that was a nice gain there with the swing trades. But yeah, overall here, I just don't see like the signs of an impulse sell. Look at the recovery in IGV as well. So only down 32 cents. Look at volatility, right? Don't you think the VIX would be up more than 9 cents? Don't you think VIXI would be up more than 0.5%? VVIX was up quite a bit, but coming in pretty sharply now. VIX futures are flat now on the day. So again, we've seen this movie before. You never want to trust those Fed moves, and they can really make you pay. But what really pays out is knowing those dealer levels, and I tell you, they're just magical sometimes. And again, on ES, I tweeted about this like 35 minutes ago or something like that. I said, look, all we did was just backtest this liquidity zone. That's all that happened. right? So, you know, could we go down and see 63.50? It's possible. You know, there's another level down there, but there's the bell. That wasn't too loud, but yeah, nonetheless, I was kind of saying this before we even rebounded, but I don't really see it as being a huge impulse here. And that 63.50 essentially just lines up with that 20-day. Also, window of weakness leaving in 2 days too. So something else to be aware of. So Bears got to get it done here Thursday, Friday. But wow, what a nice rebound there. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm glad we just have volatility back. Let's just be honest here. It's been really tough to navigate lately, just with the volatility. Let's take a look and see if Microsoft is out. I believe they report usually right on the bell. I know Meta usually does. So hopefully one of those two can come out here while we are waiting. But yeah, nonetheless, that's my long and short of it right now. We got Robinhood after the bell and Ford. Not that anybody cares, but yeah, we'll see. That's what I would say right now, though. But nice rebound before the close. ES trying to break back 64. Let's see, Meta popping. Yeah, so doesn't look like they're out. Looks like Hood might be out. I don't know. Anyway, I'll come back to it in a minute. But yeah, nice rebound here again. NQ up. No real issues with this. And look at SMH never went red, right? It never went red. Yeah, I mean, the socks might have. Yeah, the socks touched the flat line for 2 seconds and then popped right back up. So we still got that relative strength in the semis. You got a really nice rebound in cloud. Tech looks strong. And yeah, I don't really think this is anything too crazy just yet. Oh, last thing too, volume. Where's the volume here? 71 million, not good enough. So I started saying this even before the before that little last rebound there, but yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So just one more check here. Microsoft still flat. So Qs, again, 570 is still a little bit of resistance. The Russell 2000, I know everybody's going to freak out about this trend line here. It did have some volume behind it too today. You know, it closed kind of like on that trend line, maybe just below. But if we look at a weekly chart here, it's still just fine. There's just a bull inside bar here. So no changes right now. I will say this is ready to move. 100% it's ready to move. Look at the Bollinger Bands. Last time this happened, we had a breakdown there. And then, you know, the last time we were this close here, we had a breakout, two of them, one right there. Sorry. No, that wasn't really it. You know, we had like a little bit of an expansion right there, and then this was the big one. So watch that. This is coiled. It's getting ready. Look at how tight. So definitely getting ready for a move here. Maybe that goes and tests. It got close to 220. It looks like, yeah, 220, spot 12. And then we got the diamond here, which didn't make new all-time highs yet. But it definitely got close, and it bounced off of that trend line. So again, another thing, just essentially back testing an area. SMH, again, that may want 300 before it's all said and done. IGV backed off. It basically got to 115. Transport's down another 3% today. So on the weaker side, obviously, and bulls will want that 50 MA to hold. But definitely, you know, good rejection there. We'll see where it closes the week. Still has the green bar there on the weekly. Rates here, we're up. Okay, ES is moving here really quickly. So I'm guessing Microsoft's out. Ooh, man, 546. Look out. So there you go. Again, don't trust those big down moves. When you don't see volume, we don't see the VIX moving, we don't see SMH confirming. Looks like Meta getting a little sympathy. Let me see if Hood's out. Hood getting a good jump here. Like even Ford got a little bit of a bid. Probably won't later. Look at that move on Microsoft. So anyway, trying to multitask here as we have an open trade on ES right now in the trading room as I'm doing this, but I don't think we're moving on that. But yeah, nice move. So that's now, 50 points on ES here on that trade. Join the trading room. There you go, guys. Anyway, interest rates. I'm sorry, I'll jump back in here in a second. Interest rates today took a pretty good bid. There we go. The 2-year got wrecked. The 2-year note got wrecked. And yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to see cuts anytime soon unless this reverses. We've been in a range here. This should be ready to move, though, at some point as well. I mean, look at this. Is getting tight. So the long ends did bounce, but, came off the highs. And you know what? TLT actually looks pretty positively hedged into the weekend. It looks like 86 is a little bit of a floor for now. So I expect the long end rate to stay a little bit muted, at least into the end of the week. So we got NQ ripping. QQQ 571. So forget that 570. Let's see, Meta might. All right, well, I thought 700 would hold it, so I guess not. Wow, look at that. So I had to get something wrong here. So ES just pumping again. All right. Sorry. I'll get back to rates here. Let's get back to the charts. I'll look at this later. All right. XHB. I'm sorry, guys. XHB here was down today. Came off the lows. IYR, same thing. Came off the lows right at the end. So it's still holding in. Again, another thing that kind of back tested here. And it's still holding that kind of breakup there. XLF down 10 cents. Looks like it's flat after hours. KRE was down as well. That did hurt the Russell a little bit, as did KBE. But KBE's higher lows. That looks like it could try to resolve higher. We actually have a kind of a triangular sort of pattern here, right? So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's mark that. Change the colors here. Sorry, I didn't think we were going to move this much on earnings, so I would have waited. I thought Microsoft would be up a little bit and Meta would get stuck at 700, but broker dealers up 80 basis points here. Hood at 109. So nice moves on that. Let me just check Ford. Ford's down, so yeah, it's Ford. All right. Oil up 1.68, so that continued up. I think there was a new contract here, so my lines are all messy, or they might just need to be adjusted. Yeah, it needs to be readjusted. There it goes. So that's holding up okay. So nice move for oil. XLE was down because it sucks, and there's no surprise there for me or anybody else. And the same thing goes for XOP and OIH, although OIH did hold the 20 MA, and it's it's trying to hold back up. Dollar was up here up 1%. That's going to 100. That should be some resistance right now. They got a nice move there. So inverse head and shoulders triggered, right? So that triggered yesterday. Possibly even up to 102. So we'll see. Gold and silver, I just want to let you know, dealer hedging here is pretty negative for the next month or so. So I would not be a dip buyer here right now outside of day trades and scalps and things of that nature, which we did scalp silver earlier and it worked out. And this might bounce, I could see GLD, at 300. There's another level I'm watching that we know about in the trading room for Friday. It's a little bit lower, but I could see it bouncing at 300 tomorrow. Silver with a little bit of a breakdown here. I'll watch tomorrow at the 50 MA. That could be an interesting spot. Maybe even 36. That would be a good back test level too. But for right now, they're hedged negatively, and that will change. But I think for right now, we're going to be digesting platinum right to the 50 MA. I didn't even see this. I was so busy with everything else today in the copper space, and you see palladium bouncing there. But yeah, copper it bounced initially. If you look at a 5-minute, or let's just look at we'll use a 2-minute. Look at this bounce. I mean, I caught this one. I got out at 497, I think. and then the volatility just died out. I think this will try to push back up to like 480 tomorrow, maybe back and test that 200 moving average. But yeah, it was a little soft here today, obviously. just a little bit. And then Bitcoin here down 0.5%, but it is off the lows, like everything else here, and yeah, trying to reclaim these lows here. So no damage to Bitcoin daily chart. Let's take a look at ES here. So yeah, there's like 55 points there on ES. Join the trading room. You could have just paid off like a year worth of it, like just with this one trade here. Dealer levels, I'm telling you, they don't lie. Let's take a look at Microsoft. 546. Meta. Yeah, just, 750. Yeah, no big deal. And Robinhood backing off. Forward. Okay. So nice stuff here. Yeah. I love how I just was going to start the video off with like a crash title, and then like by the end of the video it already proved that it wasn't going to happen, which is what I started talking about in the beginning of the video. But anyway, we'll just wrap it up here. You guys take care. Have a good one. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.